So I recently did a video about a generic Ego battery, and here I am going to do another one. What we have here is a slightly different one that I found on Alibaba. So here it is. This is another generic Ego battery. As you can tell, it says 10 amp hour, 56 volt. It doesn't have the Ego branding. But if you look at this, it suspiciously is very, very similar to a genuine Ego battery. So if you've seen the other 10 amp hour batteries, they typically have circles for vents. They have circles on top, circles on the side, and they typically have a much more generic looking battery indicator, whereas this battery indicator is very similar, if not identical, to Ego. It even feels rubbery, whereas the material on the other generic that I bought and the other ones I've seen is it doesn't tend to have rubberized material, but this feels just like the rubberized material that you buy from an Ego. So here's the underside. It has vents with a little filter on it, just like the genuine one. So I was very curious about this, and I mean, I'm not an expert at Ego, but I mean, I don't know if these are the correct cells or not. I thought they were supposed to be like a green color. So these cells are pink, and just based off my observation from other individuals who have disassembled Ego batteries online, they typically tend to be a different color. This has like some sort of white stuff in between. It does have like paper. I don't know. It's weird. I mean, look at this. This kind of looks like the genuine version. The genuine version has like this material on the motherboard or the little computer that's in here. Now, albeit it's not perfect, it's like kind of all over the place and flaking off in some places. If this is an aftermarket, then this looks to be a high quality aftermarket. I mean, the materials are made out of good plastics. It has little filters in here. I mean, this does not feel like cheap ABS plastic. It feels premium, just like the real Ego. Now, I'll put up some still images of photos of the previous 10 amp hour battery that I took. In that previous one, it didn't disassemble as easy. It did take a lot more effort, and this battery cells looked a lot different. And then the motherboard, or MBS, I think that's the acronym, I really don't know, looked a lot different. But this AliExpress version has what appears to be 18650s, and it does say Samsung on it. So, I mean, I don't know. Is this legit? Is this not? I'm just really confused. I just don't know enough about lithium ion batteries to be able to even explain whether this is legit or not. All I can tell you is just my observation. It looks high quality. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. Like I did in my previous video, I did a test on my leaf blower. This time I'm going to do a little bit more of a fairer test. I'm going to do a test on the 5 amp hour battery. Just like if you saw my previous video, I'm not an expert at this. I am consumer. If I see 10 amp hour battery as a consumer, I believe that I should get twice as much runtime with a 5 amp hour battery. So I'm going to stick a brand new 5 amp hour battery that I just warrantied out with Ego in a leaf blower. We're going to test how long it lasts on turbo. And then we're going to also test this battery right here when it's fully charged, and we're going to see how much time I get and if it's somewhat comparable to what a genuine 10 amp hour battery would be. So let's give this a shot. All right, so this one's going to be a more fair test. This is a fully charged 5 amp hour battery, brand new, has not been used, in a brand new 765 CFM leaf blower. Go ahead and try out the brand new 5 amp hour battery in this blower. Time it on turbo, see how long it lasts. Let's see, are you dead or are you overheated? Dead. All right, that's a lot better result. We're going to do a test on this generic supposed 10 amp hour battery, time it on turbo. We're going to compare how this 10 amp hour battery lasts to the 5 amp that we just did. That is legitimately double the amount of time on turbo on this battery. I gotta say, I don't know what's going on. This is an Alibaba generic battery, but it doesn't look like a generic battery. And it legitimately is a 10 amp hour battery. If you remember on my previous, wow, this is hot, by the way. This is hot. So this is a very stressful test. If you remember from my previous video, the supposed 10 amp hour battery lasted 16 minutes on turbo. This is 32 minutes. Honestly, this is legit. I mean, this really is a 10 amp hour battery. All right, so this was a very interesting result. I bought this generic 10 amp hour battery, really not expecting much. I already had bought one a couple weeks ago, put it through its paces, turned out really wasn't a 10 amp. It was more of like a 7.5, maybe slightly less than that. So here I got a new 5 amp, I got a new leaf blower, and we got a different 10 amp hour battery. Now here's the very unfortunate thing. It's a bit of a tease. This is where I bought it from. I bought it from AliExpress. When I got it, it shows up as a new 56 10 amp hour lithium ion battery. And then the name of the store, I can't pronounce it, but it's MXNNPOO. That's the name of the seller. And at the time, this was for sale. It was available for sale. You could buy it. And then all of a sudden, it just says, sorry, item's no longer available. But, you know, I really didn't have much to go by. You know, you can see here, it does have a serial number starting off, you know, the month and the year. The one I have right now just gives me the year 2023. It doesn't give me a month. But, you know, it pretty much checks out. From everything I saw in the pictures to what I got, it pretty much checks out, you know. There really wasn't much to go by. You know, you kind of take a risk when you buy from AliExpress. And I went ahead and took that risk. And here I have it. So I have my weird theories. Number one is perhaps this isn't a knockoff. This potentially could be a genuine refurbished battery that's put back out there, because it just looks too good to be a clone, too good to be a generic battery. You know, it has the fuel gauge like Ego. It has a lot of the same material as Ego. It just doesn't have the stickers on it, and it's from AliExpress. The results speak for themselves. This thing ran more than twice the amount on a turbo leaf blower than this. So overall, I'm just really content with this. I really don't know what to say other than this definitely is a keeper. I really am happy I found this. I'm hoping that perhaps in the future these type of batteries become available to the market. One of the biggest issues I have with Ego is the fact that their batteries tend to be super expensive, and I haven't had much luck with batteries. I still have my 2 defective batteries. When you get a warranty replacement battery from Ego, they tell you to recycle your old one. You really get to keep it, and I still kept mine. I still get some use out of those batteries, even though my old batteries overheat all the time, especially in the leaf blower. I'm able to put it in a string trimmer with no issues. I can run my chainsaw with no issues. It's just when I put it in a leaf blower, I keep having these overheat issues. 10 amp hour battery is way overkill, way heavy for the leaf blower, but I am still going to use it for the leaf blower. I also am keeping my eye out on the Facebook Marketplace for a used or perhaps maybe a returned Ego twin blade, something that I can just kind of throw underneath the deck and not really worry about it, because I do have a Honda lawnmower, which I really love, especially in the middle of the summer. You know, electric lawnmowers are great. It's just when it comes to fall and where I live with the heavy wet leaves, gas at this present moment tends to still be the king in the sense that it mulches leaves. Anyways, the whole reason why I have a 10 amp hour battery is in the event I do end up finding on Facebook Marketplace or used somewhere else, I'll definitely buy a lawnmower. They typically don't tend to come with batteries whenever they're sold really cheap, so I'll have a 10 amp hour battery. And you know, I have already used this today on my leaf blower. Yes, it's heavy, but I do have a strap for my leaf blower, so I'm able to distribute the weight and I'm not really carrying it all on my arm. And this thing is a monster. When I'm using my leaf blower, I am typically using it on turbo, full blast, getting all the grass clippings and leaves off the curve, off of my sidewalk, my deck, my car, and I'm just using it full blast. And you know, with the 5 amp hour batteries, I can really only get about 14 minutes use out of it. And typically the 5 amp hour battery is more than enough. but I like to have that extra ump, especially in the fall, because in the fall time, when fall comes and I'm using my leaf blower heavily, these 5 amp hour batteries just don't cut it. With this 10 amp hour battery, I'm pretty sure I can do my fall leaf blowing and probably still have juice left over on this. So yeah, it may be a little bit overkill, but hey, I got it for a really good price. I bought it for about $260 in late March 2023. Prices do fluctuate. I can't guarantee that those prices will remain the same. I can't even guarantee that this item is going to be available in the future. So hopefully you found this interesting, somewhat useful. Good luck. If you could find this product out there, I would say go for it.